Donald Trump will meet today in Washington with nearly 24 senior Republicans. Perhaps an effort to mend fences? Look who's here. Congressman Louie Gohmert from Texas, Republican, here in the Big Apple itself. Welcome, Louie. Welcome to the program.
It's always good to be with you,
I'll shake your hand. Yes,
thank you, thank you. But
now,
doesn't he have to build the fence before he can mend it?
Wait a second.
Oh, that's a different story.
It's a wall, not a fence.
Oh, that's right, the wall.
What do you make of this? 24 senior Republicans getting together with Trump. Is this the beginnings of a reach out from both sides, mending fences, really? I know you're in the Cruz camp.
Yes.
But this is an attempt to get something going, isn't it?
It is a reach out, an effort to try to come closer. But I had everybody check. I didn't get that call, so I'm not sure who he's mending fences with.
But everybody knows you're for Ted Cruz.
Well, that's true, but I've talked to Trump a couple of times, and anyway, he's an amazing guy. And he said, "Can't you endorse me?" And I said, "I endorsed Ted, last year." He said, "Well, do it as soon as you can."
Wait a second. I mean, if Ted Cruz is not the guy,
right,
would you, Louie Gohmert, you're a senior Republican, you're a very well-known guy in Congress. You are.
No.
Would you get behind Trump?
Well, my plan was, if he's the nominee, absolutely. But he keeps calling the most honest guy in the race a liar. He keeps calling the honest, honorable Ted Cruz a liar. It's going to be tough. So if he wants to mend fences, and I'm glad he does. I mean, he's a deal maker. That's what he does. But he's going to have to stop using the word liar, because it's a condemnation more of the speaker of the word liar than it is of the honorable Ted Cruz. That's a problem. He's got to stop that. That's just outrageous.
Okay, now you're with us for the hour, the whole hour?
Well, until your folks throw me off. I know there's guys ready to run. I can see they're ready to run, grab me, and roll me right out of here.
We move quickly on this program.
They do. I've seen that. Yeah.
Stay there, Louie. Thanks very much. United States of America making the first visit by President in 80-odd years, and their president doesn't even show up? What kind of a snub is that?
Huge.
Well, it's a huge hold on a second. Louie Gohmert, still here. That's a snub and a half, isn't it?
Of course it is, but consistent with this president, if you're an evil nation or an evil leader, you're doing evil in the world, this administration wants to be your friend.
Oh,
we're going to give you money.
Strong stuff.
We're going to help you. We want more trade with you. And, I mean, Stuart, you travel around the world, and our friends are crying out. Moderate Muslim leaders, like in Egypt, are going, why are you helping the Muslim Brotherhood? They've been at war with you for years. But this is consistent with this administration. You do evil. Of course, Romans 13:4 says, be afraid, but it's different for this administration. If you do evil, this administration wants to be your friend.
One more second. Can we just show that video of ladies in white, the protesters, they're dressed in white, they're being dragged away, they're surrounded by this. One of those protesters, a black lady, was dragged away, taken to prison. She was told to strip. She didn't do it. They stripped her in the presence of men and dragged her naked into a cell. That happened as the president was there. All right, moving on.
We do not think the comprehensive health care benefits should be extended to those who are undocumented workers and illegal aliens. We do not want to do anything to encourage more illegal immigration into this country. We know now that too many people come in for medical care as it is.
Whoa, don't times change? Chelsea Clinton now says her mom wants to do the exact opposite of what she said back in 1994. All right, Ash, the exact quote.
And the exact opposite. You're right, Stuart. Here's what we have. This is Chelsea Clinton speaking about her mother. She thinks it is so important to extend the Affordable Care Act to people who are living and working here, regardless of immigration status, regardless of citizenship status. So come on, come one, come all, apparently.
Okay.
Big change of heart, apparently.
Louie Gohmert is here on my right-hand side, the Republican guy from Texas. It seems to me from what we just talked about there, that Hillary is being dragged to the left by Bernie Sanders in this contest.
Well, except that back then she was not an elected official, and now she's trying to be. And so it's what people do. They try to get more voters on their side. The key to what she said was in '94 when she said, we don't want to encourage illegal immigration. And now, and of course, Steve King and I met with some of the officials in England, and they said, we do not use that term illegal immigration. We think it's inappropriate. I said, what do you use? And they said, irregular migrant. I said, ooh, sounds like a body function or something. Irregular migration. Anyway, or we call that now undocumented Democrats. She wants more undocumented Democrats in this country, and so she's pandering. And if you remember, the president said illegal immigrants or people that are here illegally will not be getting Obamacare. And a friend, Joe Wilson, yelled at you lie. Turns out he was right.
You were in the chamber that day.
Yes, I was, and the cameras all went on me. They assumed if anybody yelled out, it was the troublemaker, so the cameras go right to me. But anyway, and by the way, I went to Texas A&M. Congratulations to the Aggies. I'm wearing purple for Stephen F. Austin. They beat Notre Dame. The official record shows Notre Dame won by 1 point, but that's because of the new rule. You can stand in the paint as long as you want to.
What you're talking about?
But Stephen F. Austin was amazing. They beat Notre Dame. It's incredible.
We got it.
Got outscored, but
all right, we're totally out of time because you droned on. But we will be back in just 1 minute. A new religious liberty bill is being considered in the state of Georgia, and it might cost that state the Super Bowl. Explain it, Ash.
The religious exemptions bill was passed in the Georgia legislature. It's still awaiting the governor's signature, but basically protects opponents of same-sex marriage. Now, the owner of the Falcons, Arthur Blank, is now opposing the bill. Why? Because he's concerned that the NFL will not be picking Atlanta to host the Super Bowl because they believe this bill is not inclusive of everyone in the community. In other words, it's anti-gay, anti-lesbian, anti-transgender, and that is why the owner of the Atlanta Falcons is saying, no, I don't support this bill. In other words, he's trying to protect himself so the city can get the Super Bowl.
I got it. All right. A somewhat related, somewhat similar story. A church in Corpus Christi, Texas. They're facing a lawsuit over a giant cross that they want to erect. They want to erect it on their own property, by the way, and it's paid for entirely by them, the church. Congressman Gohmert, still with us, glutton for punishment. Welcome again to the final 5 minutes of the program. What do you mean? This is in Texas.
Yeah, but it's very similar to this story in Georgia. It goes back to what Liz knows. Jesus said, you will suffer for my sake. For whatever reason, we Christians in America have lived in a bubble where we were not persecuted and we didn't suffer for Jesus' sake. But it gives credibility to what Jesus said. This hatred, this unexplainable bigotry against Christians is really coming to the forefront in America now, and it's raised its ugly head. I mean, that cross paid for with donations on private property. What the Christian bigots are saying is, we hate Christianity so much, we are so offended by Christianity that we don't believe any elected official should be able to be a Christian and let anybody know that they think it's a nice thing.
Well, they simply object to a large cross.
I mean, I go to disabled events. Doesn't mean I'm disabled, but you do. You represent these people, and so, of course, you go to the event. There's nothing wrong with that. It's a good thing.
But the law may say, I don't know how this is going to turn out.
Constitution trumps.
Oh,
I'm sorry to use that word.
But the law could say, you are being insensitive to these atheists. Reduce the size of the cross.
The insensitivity is on the part of the atheists. Their hatred for Christians overcomes any fairness, any sense of really equality. They hate them so bad. They're prejudiced against elected officials, religious beliefs, and they don't believe elected officials should have them. It's getting back to what Jesus had said. It's finally starting to happen in America.
Well, you're a favorite guest on this program.
I love being
You've been with us for an entire hour.
Because you talk so pretty. I mean, it's just amazing.
I wish I could do your accent. I really would.